Hey soldiers, we're starting to see some of the fallout from the SVB bank issue. We did the video right prior to this one telling you how SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, has been taken over by the federal government. Depositors are going to have to resort to seeking redress from the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, because the bank has effectively been shut down. They are not in operation. Employees have been told to work from home. The doors are closed, and the FDIC has actually transferred all of the deposits, all of the money that the bank had on hand, into a FDIC corporation. And to boot, now it's Saturday when I'm recording this, March 11th, the bank said that none of these depositors are going to be able to get their hands on a dime until at the earliest Monday. Now, there's one depositor that doesn't care whether Monday comes or not because they had a lot more on deposit than $250,000. Guys, if you're ever feeling less than intelligent, just remember Roku had $500 million on deposit with SVB. And not only did they have $500 million on deposit, but it wasn't insured. So as you can tell, there are going to be some employees in the accounting department for Roku who are going to be looking for a new job. This is incredible because it actually makes up a substantial portion of Roku's cash on hand, and it dropped the stock. All right, so what's the lesson here? Well, don't keep a quarter of your eggs in one basket. Roku warns it has $487 million held in deposits with Silicon Valley Bank. Now, the only problem I have with that headline is it says Roku warns it has. You should probably change that to had. 487 million. They are guaranteed to see 250,000 of that because that's the FDIC's max coverage rate, unless you have some insurance, which they're saying they didn't. Streaming devices maker Roku said Friday it had about $487 million, or 26% of its cash and cash equivalents held in deposits with SVB Financial Group, which has been closed down by California banking regulators. Roku, in a regulatory filing, also said its deposits with SVB were largely uninsured. This sent shares of Roku down 10% in extended trading because basically Roku has lost 25% of its cash and cash equivalents. Just like that. Poof. And you know they're going to try to, we're going to sue. Sue for what? Okay, you can't get water from a rock. So they're going to compound this with spending legal fees, I suppose. And I don't know, SVB will probably go through the bankruptcy proceeding, or some company's going to try to buy them out, and maybe they'll buy the debt, but I don't know. I don't know how this thing is going to end up. SVB was shuttered by banking regulators on Friday in a bid to protect depositors following a dive in the value of its investment holdings and a rush of withdrawal requests starting just 2 days ago. We told you in the previous report about the bank run, okay? And this is another thing with regard to Roku. Apparently, they don't have their ear to the ground in terms of what's going on with their money, because if you've got $500 million on deposit, it shouldn't, and you're Roku, okay, a publicly traded big company, shouldn't you have some inkling that, you know, things just ain't right down at your bank? All right, and you've got $500 million on deposit with SVB. Now, I know that they serve the tech community, but I'm sorry, guys. Call me old-fashioned, but I'm not entrusting that kind of money to a bank that has 12 branches, all right? SVB is not some nationwide big JP Morgan-style bank. Regulators appointed the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation as a receiver, which said that insured depositors will regain access to their deposits no later than Monday. And that would be the 13th of March 2023. And mind you, when they say insured, they're talking about the FDIC insurance, the $250,000. That $250,000 is probably the salary for one of the people that was supposed to be watching this money. The showdown sent shockwaves through the startup community as the bank has been central to the formation of these small companies, these small tech companies, and helping them get started. But you know what? Roku was beyond that. They were beyond that point. They weren't a startup anymore, and they probably stayed loyal to this bank simply because they, wanted to do, dance with the ones that brought them, so to speak. But damn that, okay. And this proves it. 25% of their cash and cash equivalents just disappeared. Looks like online gaming firm Roblox also said it had $150 million in deposits with SVB. So there's some hurt folk out there tonight. They took a look at Sam Bankman-Fried and said, hold my beer. All right, watch what we can do. We'll continue to follow this story because there are going to be more depositors that are big names that we all recognize that are going to get hit from this, I'm sure. And if they're publicly traded companies, you can best believe their stock's going to take a hit. Can you believe this, though? We're supposed to be of the mind, and we're led to believe that these are all the wizards of smart, and they are infallible, and, we're just down here. We're the rabble. We are the, the plebes down here, and we don't know anything. They know it all. And apparently, man, Roku, and I love Roku. I have Roku, we stream old Star Trek with Roku and our Asian sci-fi movies. That's what we tend to enjoy. But we could get that through Roku, so the service is great. But God have mercy, they just lost $500 million, and that ain't easy to recoup. So we'll continue to follow it. Guys, go ahead and check out the previous video we did on this issue. We're walking you through exactly what happened and put SVB in the situation that it's in. Also, okay, in addition to SVB, there's another bank that's having some problems. We report on it in that same video. Check it out. Guys, I'll talk to you soon.